Welcome. How are you? Last month I was looking positive messages on Reels, and I commented in one that inspired me to write about this encounter I had. Of course, I would need a motivation to do it that need to be connected with your path. As myself, you may have experienced it, or you will. I would like to talk about it so you can remember it or be aware when this happens. I would like to start with something I heard of a philosopher once. Sometimes we have angelical, divine, miraculous moments, and we must collect carefully because when the unbalanced moments happen, when a bad situation happens, when we lose, get sick, this collection will remind us that God exists. Those moments will teach us, will prove us, will polish us if we remember the moments we saw a divine hand. The strength these memories bring make us resilient and prepared to have all the tests looking the bigger picture where everything is temporary. The person you lost yesterday, you yourself, will be the lost of other and life will continue. So, the point it is not in people around us, or in what we have. So, where is it? About what do I have to observe and aware? Before I tell my story, I would like to remind you I am human too. When I learn and write about those moments, it is easier to say than live it, but I would be a bad student if I just deny knowledge. I am here to be my best version, to learn to be whole, to find illumination. I may not get there, but I will keep going. Like a moth. Let's talk about this incredible moment. Remember, I am a skeptical person. What I describe here, it was a personal experience, but complete real to my perceptions and senses. It was 2017 when I finished the video game. All my dreams became real and I felt grateful but lost about what now. I decided, to ask to be a master of life growth in every area. If there was a recipe of how to improve in every area of life, I wanted to know. There was it. I want a clear idea of it so I could share with as many people I knew. I remember where I was, how I asked, how I felt, how the sky was, everything. I started to receive, and I say receive because I didn't search online for books and videos, material to improve. The end of the year came and I needed to work after day first. By that time, I was reading and practicing The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. I remember the first time I felt present in my life. I was about 7 years old. I'd learn in school that the heat of the sun take about 8 minutes to arrive on Earth. In the next day, I woke up earlier and went to grass in front of my house. I waited to see the first piece of the sun and I looked the clock. For about 8 minutes I waited observing. The memory is very clear. When I started the book I remember that day. After that I had other moments in my childhood and teenagehood where I felt present, where I even practiced communicating with other people mentally, change a dream, and other mental practices. With that collection of memories I dive into presence practices. All day, every day. Walking, showering, working, meditating, on the bus, at the supermarket queue. Since I spent the last day of the year in another city, when I arrived back home I had few things in my cabinet to eat, so I decided to walk to the supermarket. I took my backpack, some bag and walk about 1 kilometer to the market. I forgot it was holiday and it would be closed. I was happy and any small thing like that didn't bother me by the time. I went back home happily. 2 days later, I couldn't find my company badge and it was mandatory. The company I worked was new and full of young people, so sometimes they were strict with the rules to deal with the energy of the people there. However, I was an introvert and very efficient worker, so nobody worry about my work there. In other words, since I delivered everything better than expected, nobody pay much attention on me. Or, at least, worry about small rules like be with the badge. So, I looked in my house for a few minutes and I thought carelessly, well, or it is in the company, or I will find it later here. And I went to work without thinking about it again. I didn't worry about anything. I was present the whole time. In the company, I received a call from the reception. Someone let the number because the person found a document of mine. It was interesting because the person didn't talk about what it was. It didn't cause me a problem about losing the badge. I talked with the person, and in that afternoon I would meet the person in front of a bakery, next to the market I went a few days ago. I understood I lost it when I tried to buy food few days ago. It was great because I didn't have time to buy food until that moment, and I would be near the area. Since I was area of cause and effect theory, and present, I wonder what was that all about. In that afternoon I went to the bakery. I arrived early and bought a few goodies to take home. Then I met the lady and her daughter. When we met, I felt something. We started to talk and she told me she found the badge in front of the church. I walked by it that day, but I didn't remember to open my backpack near it. However, I felt like that information was important. It was like someone around me made me feel it, not something in my head. We talked a bit more, and it was a happy and light conversation. In some point the lady told me all the coincidences happened to her to find that, and she said, "I don't know if you is a God believer, but I do believe I should met you now talking with you." She looked her daughter. "Okay guys, I am feeling emotional now, maybe read this is not much, but lived it was." And she asked me, "Can my daughter sing to you? If it don't make you embarrassed?" In any other situation I would feel very ashamed. I am an introvert and I don't mind being shy. This don't make me less active, just more intuitive about what I should do or not. In short, I learned to deal with it in a healthy way, but I would be embarrassed to attract attention on the street. Not that day. I said yes, and I noticed that nobody was looking to us even though there was a lot of people around us coming and going from the bakery. She sang to me with the most beautiful voice, and the words was just what I needed to hear. I knew it was a break point for me. I felt like I was bigger than my body. Once again, when I say I felt something while I tell this story here, I am not exaggerating, or it is an analogy, or a thought. I physically felt like it. I can put in an image for you saying that it was like I was aware of a space much bigger than the street I was. We hugged and I felt happy beyond any other moment of my life. We said goodbye and I walked home because I felt like I couldn't enter a supermarket in that moment. I was bigger than it. I walked home laughing and smiling because I could keep the energy in. The city was an image with saturated colors. When I was almost home I noticed that I didn't felt like walking since I left the woman and her daughter. I observed the sensation and it was like I was doing the motion to walk, a leg in front of the other, but I couldn't feel the floor. I believe it is the sensation people say, be lifted by angels. I noticed I walked all the path like that. I felt my expanded energy, but also positive and bright energies around me. As I said, I am skeptical and I won't say it was angels, God, this or that faking a scene for you. I am just reporting this experience as it was. Of course it sounds, as it felt, something divine. But since I cannot prove, I just can say I remember that day, and some others, when I feel lost, and I want you to take an inventory of those moments too. Those encounters can change ourselves deeply and I believe they are important. Collecting, writing down, analyzing and trying to understand these unique moments, among others in life, is being a scientist of your own life. This is the story I would like to share with you so you can too be aware of people and experiences around you. Remember, your engagement is what makes this community thrive. So, comment, subscribe, share, and let's continue this beautiful journey together. Until next time, stay present and keep embracing the extraordinary moments life has to offer. Take care, and I look forward to hearing your stories. Cheers!